One of the great things with the LEGO Mindstorms EV3 robots is the ability to add a lot of different sensors. So today we're going to have a look at one of these sensors. In particular, it's going to be the ultrasonic. So I've got my robot connected to my laptop, and I can see when I click down here in the bottom right and toggle onto this tab here that I've got two motors in ports B and C, and I've got my two sensors. I've actually got a color sensor in port 3 and also a ultrasonic in port 2. It's the port 2 that I'm really interested in. I can see it's in port 2 here, but it's giving me a reading of 4, and that's a really important thing because when I show you what my robot looks like, and I'll just bring this up now, bringing up my camera, you'll actually see that my robot has the ultrasonic pointing down. So it's actually looking down at the table, and it's approximately 4 centimeters to the table itself. So with that in mind, I've got 4 centimeters. So if I raise my robot off the table, you'll see that number getting bigger and bigger and bigger and smaller as I'm coming close. So what I'm actually wanting to do today is program my robot to be autonomous, that it will run around on the table. So it would detect the edge of the table and will stop. And that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, so what we're going to have to do with our program is we want to turn our motors on. So I'm going to bring up a block here where we want to have it just turned on. We want our motors turned on. Now what we want to happen there is so the motors are going to be turned on, but it's going to do a bit of a wait and see. Now, what we're wanting to do is, using our ultrasonic, we want to compare the distance in centimeters. Now, I know from my reading that at the table, you'll see down here in the port view, that the distance between the sensor and the table is 4 centimeters. But when it reaches over the table, it's obviously greater than that. So I'm going to say that when we're greater than 4.5 centimeters. I could go 4, but there may be some discrepancies on the table where it might read at 4.1, 4.2, but it's still actually on the table. So I'm going to have it at 4.5. Now, when it's greater than that, what I want is for my motors to turn off. So just turn that off there. So the motors would run until it's greater than 4.5. Now, so at the moment, if we were to run that particular program, it's just a very linear program. It would just run through that. So the motors would turn on, it would start going, all right, and when it's greater than 4.5, it would then stop. But we want this to constantly, think about the particular program. We want this to loop around. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce our loop, right? And we're going to bring this in here. We'll see that there, and then we'll just bring that up into the play button there. So what we've got is an infinite loop. It's going to constantly revise all of this. I'm just going to change this down to a nice slow speed, like 25. They're going through there. So it's a nice slow speed. So it'll turn on, it'll wait. If it's greater than 4.5, it's going to stop. And it's going to go back through the loop again. Start the motors, right? Wait. Okay, if it's less than 4.5, it's going to continue. So it's going to continue this part here. So let's have a look at the particular program running. So I'll just set this up on the table before I switch over to the camera. So we're there. So just switching over to the camera now. See our robot there. And if I press play, you see a robot going, and then stopping, right? So, but if I was to pick up the robot and bring it back again, it would start, right? And always stopping. So, with that done, just get rid of our camera. Right, we've now got a looping program where we're constantly checking for the table. So it will constantly find to the edge.